Welcome to the Standing O Podcast,
a Steve and Adam comedy project.
We know a little about most things and a lot about nothing. Anyways, so it was super nice. I flying during like COVID and stuff because I didn't fill up the planes, and now they're starting to fill it up again.
Talking about with gas?
Yep. And God damn it.
You can't get through a story.
But I realized
podcast.
I am I don't like flying on planes because if you're super big, you want to sit by a smaller person. So 100%, and I'm a little twink, friend. And so the super, big fellas or big broads, I don't discriminate. They always want to sit by me, and it's not a great situation to find myself in.
Flying on a packed plane, especially next to someone who probably, this sounds like harsh, but probably could use 2 seats.
Yeah.
Realistically, I feel like I could use a little bit more space there. And there's not much to me. And why don't they just make them bigger?
Right.
I mean, I get why they don't make them bigger, but I understand.
But it is ridiculous how small they are.
Because they just don't make chairs any bigger.
Yep.
That's why.
I got the biggest chairs.
We got the biggest chairs they make.
They just ran out of, leather or whatever they cover them with. Though, that's why I kind of like boarding the plane later, which is probably an unpopular opinion.
No, I agree 100%.
Because I would rather, you want to board early C or late B on Southwest or something. Because then you find 2 people who are already sitting next to each other. Window and middle seat. And you snag that aisle seat. Or, worst case scenario, you have to grab the middle, but at least you grab a ideal middle, between 2 smokes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you just fart the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, that always works.
I actually do fly a pretty frequent amount, I guess. At least in the last couple of years, I have been.
Yeah.
This year, my flight to New York, slam packed or slam booked. It was pretty uncomfortable going both ways. We went to Dallas though, not too long ago during COVID, and when the planes weren't super packed, we had a row to ourselves between the 2 of us both ways, which was awesome. Got to be super comfortable.
No, yeah, that's
boarding was easy. Getting off the flight didn't take 40 minutes like it normally does. You normally feel for people to grab their bags and gather things, it takes 20 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? It is the worst. Yeah. Maybe I'm impatient or something, but I feel like I'm actually a pretty patient person for the most part. I feel like
you are.
And that moment is probably when I feel the most anxious about move. Dude, move your ass.
Mm-hmm. For me, it is when I'm at a restaurant with my family and they're like, all right, we'll get your seat in 10 minutes. And then we're in the way. And there's nowhere to sit. And we're not going to go outside. And I'm just I'm just going to go hide under the car.
Yep. That's a terrible
situation to find yourself in.
Time.
It just happens.
I have a very different flight experience because the first time I flew was the day after my college graduation, and I was still extremely hungover and drunk, and I didn't know what an airport was like. So they're quick.
Did you fly by yourself?
No, I flew with my parents.
Thank God.
But they were also quick, and they knew what it was, and they're get your boarding pass and grab your check bag, and I don't know what these things are, and I'm like, you got to help me out. And they're like, move, you got to move. And I'm going crazy. I'm still hammered from the night before.
Yeah, it's Home Alone.
I'm like, all right, can somebody give me a sign or something? I don't know where to go. Yeah. And then I get on the plane.
There's signs literally everywhere, though, by the way.
Yeah, but there's
almost
that's
too
the problem.
many, though.
There's
too many signs.
So I don't know where to go. And then I'm on the plane, and I'm looking around in the plane, which I didn't know was normal. When you're in the air, it starts shaking. I forget what that's called.
Turbulence.
Yeah, that's it.
It is terrible, though.
Well, John wrote a song about it.
Who did?
Will John.
We had turbulence.
He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty
sure he is. Well,
I'm pretty sure he was from the time he made
if he isn't, he will be.
Banger.
So anyway, I'm on this flight, and I'm looking around, and turbulence starts happening.
Yeah.
And I'm on the window seat because I wanted to look out the window on a flight for my first time ever. So I'm looking out the whole time. And turbulence starts happening, and I start freaking out and looking around. And I'm like, is this normal? I'm tapping my parents, and I see all these little kids just very calm.
Just not worried about it?
And I'm 22 years old.
You're like, I'm more scared than the little kid.
I'm like, what's happening? Where's these oxygen things that fall down? And nobody's worried at all. I'm like, okay.
You ever seen Flight? You're like, when do we go upside down? I'm not ready for it.
Well, and hey, I do want to know, if the oxygen thing fell down, did you listen to the girl who explained how to use it?
I did, actually. I was very nervous. I thought we were going to get in a terrible, fiery
You paid
plane
attention
crash.
to that.
Yeah. I did.
I do.
I also read, like, the
like
safety.
To teach me how to do something like that, I need hands-on. I need somebody by my side.
Well, that's why
showing
they
me.
say secure the mask on the child before you get yourself. So someone next to you will see you're a child and will
you're right.
hook you up.
Yeah. I'd be sitting there and I'd be like holding it upside down. Hey, guys, do you know what you're doing?
You just, like, next
The
time.
plane's on fire. And I'm like, guys, I don't know what. Does anybody know how to do this?
So, you know, like the butt chug? I think the oxygen works better if you put it on your butt.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, it
Actually-
just makes sense.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it doesn't get in your lungs, but it gets in your bloodstream, and that's where, you just skip out the middleman of the lungs. You know?
Right.
It's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Yep.
He's onto something.
Yep.
Yeah, not a bad idea. During COVID, me and I didn't live with Sarah yet, and Erin Panhorst, she was on a couple episodes. She didn't live with her boyfriend yet either, and both of us were out of work. And so, like, we were hanging out, and we're like, we can't just drink every day. And then we, like, realized we're like, there's only so many hours a day you can spend sober. It's like, it just gets, like, we're, like, we'd hang out, and we just go on walks a lot, and we just, like, you want to have, like, a coffee on the porch? I guess that's the thing you can do. You can just have a coffee and talk.
Nice.
It just makes sense to talk with a beverage. So it's like, do you want, like, I felt the need to get, like, really into, like, making something. I'm like, do I get, like I bought, like, one of those paint by numbers things. I'm like, I felt like I was in prison. I'm just like, I just got to fill my time. Otherwise, I'm just going to get fucked up all the time. Like, just got to fill the day with being productive somehow. Otherwise, I'll just want to drink.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And so.
How's your painting?
I didn't finish it.
Mm.
Once I got my
you get
jab
too
back,
drunk?
I was like,
I'm way too hammered.
I was terrible at staying in the lines. But no, once I got my job back, I was like, this is going to take forever. And I just gave it to my sister because I was like, you might finish this. I'm like, I stink at this. I can't draw or paint or do anything artistic.
Did I tell you about all the Bob Ross paints and everything? Yeah, I got the easel. I got it all. I still haven't tried.
I could have called that.
That's.
I spent about $60 on brushes. I'm
Was
not
that
proud
during
of
COVID?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, everyone, like, I definitely bought stuff that I was like, I'll get into this,
And I've just been waiting for like
I was
any substantial amount of time where I have
Yeah.
time to do something. Like
I was fortunate
like,
enough to I got furloughed and I didn't know how long it would be, and they brought me back after like 10 days. So I bought stuff like I was gonna, like while I was thinking there was a nuclear winter coming.
I bought canned food.
I know. I'm like, I'm totally gonna get into woodworking. I'm finally gonna get a 6-pack, and then I'm like,
Bought
that's gonna come
6
back to work, and
machetes,
I'm like,
some
I'm not
booby-
doing this anymore.
Set up some booby traps around the house.
Yeah,
bought some
exactly.
machetes. I was ready for a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I
Easily.
adopted a whole bunch of dogs. I'm like, I'll have time for them, and then I didn't. I just let them all go. We were talking about like weddings and stuff earlier. I was it was in like Wildwood or something, so not quite out of town, but like far enough away that like no one lived out there. So we just got a hotel there. It was for some of David's friends' wedding, and so me and David and Amanda, David's wife, got a room together, and David was in the wedding, and it was a perfect Andy Bernard type scenario where like me and Amanda are bringing the luggage up, and we're both dressed up. And they were like, oh, you guys like just starting the honeymoon? And I'm like, no, definitely not. I date models. I didn't say I date but I was like, no, us, no, absolutely not. But then also it was hilarious getting to share a room with David and Amanda because I was like, I'm going to go back to the room before them in the hotel and just buy porn on the TV and have it on and be asleep, and then when they come in be like, hey, I just put on something to fall asleep to. You can change it if you want, and have it be like aggressive hardcore porn and just like going crazy like I just something to background noise to fall asleep to.
Did you know they got pay-per-view here?
They're like, did you purchase this?
So when you were at that wedding, how many people over the age of 40? Was this recently? This wedding?
Like 2 years ago.
Oh, so then this is non-related at all. Mm-hmm. But I feel like every time I go to an event where there's a lot of people who are over the age of 40 or 50, there's always somebody who comes up to me in a conversation and grabs my arm and they, Oh, smack me. Oh, yeah, but then COVID happened. How often have you heard, oh, but then the world went to shit.
Yeah. And I hate in those scenarios, like, they want to know what your opinion on it is. Yeah. And it's like, it's a polarizing, it's almost like politics, you know, like, they want to know, like, what you think of it. Like,
nobody enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not great, you know, it is what it is, you know, regardless of what you think it should be. Like, you gotta follow the rules, you know?
Yeah.
And
you know who did enjoy it? All of our friends down on Wall Street.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
who you are?
Just like you drew it up.
I have so many friends
just like you
on
drew
Wall
it up.
Street.
We knew it. We knew it.
Our friends down in Washington. That's what it was. But we got friends down in Wall
What was
Street,
that?
too.
Episode 2? 3? 4?
No, I
7?
don't know what it was.
That was
like
your
6
most
or something.
recent episode.
No.
It wasn't. You're full of shit.
I'm nearly positive.
No, we're talking about the one with...
Or 2 ago.
With Sam, we
Felt.
talked about conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Oh,
it was pretty
yeah.
early
It
on.
was like episode 6.
And Sam kept looking at the camera, and he would go...
Something our friends down in Washington would know about.
Yeah, for some
Maybe
reason I
I
thought it was
just
Wall
listened
Street.
to that one. I don't know.
I feel like he did say Wall Street at one point.
He might have. I'm sure he did. I was talking to, which it's a funny type of thing of like people wanting to know like where you stand on it. So like they kind of say like something. They're like, well, I mean, some people are so crazy about this COVID business, and they want you to say like,
Oh yeah, and they look.
yeah,
at you
I
like,
don't like, and then they want you to meet them halfway, and I always I don't give them anything, you know, regardless of what I think which side they're on.
Yeah.
But it's the same way. Like I was talking to a coworker at work about football, and we were talking about, he's a Packers fan, and I was talking about Aaron Rodgers leaving, and like them not knowing if the new guy, I don't know how much you know about football, but they got a guy, he's a second-year player, hasn't started, he's quarterback, and Jordan Love, and so like, and I'm like, yeah, it's so tough to like gauge these quarterbacks. Like the new like safe bet is to now like try to trade for like Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson or something, because you already know what they're capable of. And I'm like, but then there's also, you really haven't seen Deshaun Watson in the playoffs. I'm like, for example, you know, some of these quarterbacks have a second gear mentally that they can turn it on in the playoffs. It's the thing that separates, as much as I'm a Peyton Manning fan, separates Peyton Manning from Tom Brady. Tom Brady has an extra gear in his head that flicks on in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, and like I say that, but I'm the biggest Colts fan. I'm the biggest Peyton Manning fan. There's so many hard opinions I have that are just barely true, and you know, barely not delusional. You know, really. And he's like, well, you got to consider, I mean, Brady always had the defenses, too. And I'm like, don't you even tell me about Brady and the defense. You think I don't know? You think I don't know? Yeah. And I'm like, it was like, it felt like a person giving like a slightly conservative opinion. And then the other person's like, well, yeah, and plus it's blacks. And then it's like, because I was like, okay, we're part of the same club. We both think Brady fucking blows. I'm like, it's pretty much, if you've ever seen the movie Valkyrie, when they're trying to find out.
I have not.
You know what it's about? Mm-mm. Tom Cruise, he's a Nazi, and they're Operation like Valkyrie or whatever.
No, it's actually Scientologist.
Nope. They're trying to kill Hitler.
That's also true.
And so he's like, they're trying to find other people that are like down to kill Hitler. They're trying to find other Nazis that are not loyal to the Nazis.
That sounds like a cool movie.
It's pretty interesting. You don't hear about it a lot recently, so
I've
I don't
never
know.
heard of it ever.
I feel like if I watch it now, because I watched it like one time at like maybe like 13 years old.
Okay.
So like I feel like if I watch it now, maybe it's not a good movie and it doesn't hold up, but it's an interesting plot. But like I feel like that's what it is, me being a person that like thinks Peyton Manning is the best and like trying to find other people who aren't buying in on Brady. And I'm like, don't you even tell me about the defenses. You think I don't know? You think I don't know?
See, I'm a Colts fan as well. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I always forget that.
Bleed the Colts through and through.
But my problem is mainly I am just an NFL fan now since the Rams left.
Yeah.
I was always a Colts fan more when they had Andrew Luck. I was always a big fan of Andrew Luck. Just because of his like, have you seen the videos of him when he gets tackled and just like tackles them? And, I think that's a pretty cool way to play sports.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, good tackle, big man.
Pretty funny guy, not on purpose.
Yeah. He's just like a big Hoosier idiot.
Yeah, like kind of a nerd, kind of a Hoosier, kind of like Dash, honestly. Like he kind of talks to like our friend Nick Dash.
Oh, I know Dash.
And like I remember it was like one of his first games, and it was his first preseason game, and he threw a touchdown on his first play of the game. And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, it started off as obviously some butterflies, and but through that first pass, and Then it was good butterflies, obviously. We're just like, what is this guy talking about? Like, I don't know if he's really dumb or really smart, but I don't get him.
Wait, you played football at Duchesne?
Yeah, I did.
Really? What position?
Like safety mostly, but little wide receiver, but mainly safety.
Yeah.
I only played. I played 8th grade, freshman and sophomore.
Junior
You didn't play
Pioneers.
left guard?
Nope. D end. Yeah, edge rusher.
Yeah.
Best the state had ever seen.
Yeah.
Would have gone pro this
Uh-huh.
close.
Yeah.
I know if I hadn't blown out my knee.
No,
By the way,
politics.
earlier when I said Adam, his penis was 5'6", he's actually 5'6"
Yeah,
feet
that's-
tall. So
that's-
that's why this joke.
I went
is
to the
funny.
doctor the other day. I'm 5'7" with shoes, which I feel like either I got some taller shoes or maybe I'm still growing. You never know.
Probably still growing.
I'm gonna go with the shoes.
I think I'm still growing.
I'm going with the shoes.
Yeah.
But aren't your shoes 2 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, Adam's always on platforms.
Yep. I wear heels every day.
No. You wear like the '70s like platform shoes.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Do you have? I like to ask our guests questions. Do you have any would you rather's or deal breakers?
Ooh, for right now. Come
got-
back to me if you got one.
I've asked you this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've asked it on the podcast. So let's say you're single right now,
Yeah.
and you're a fan of the ladies.
Yes.
Okay, all right, just making sure, laying the groundwork for the
If you
fans.
like the ladies,
So let's say like she's the ideal woman, great money, great honkers, like 10 in looks, has her shit together, gets along with all your friends and family and stuff, but she eats like Cookie Monster. She goes, nom, 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 and it falls out of her mouth on the sides.
Okay.
Would you continue
so
to date
good.
her?
And there's no
There's no getting- there's no
alternative
fixing it.
option
There's
to
no
this
fixing it.
question.
Just
It's
do
just
you-
if I would date
Yeah,
her and
she's-
she's
she's-
yes,
Okay.
because a lot of times I think I eat like the Cookie Monster.
You're a messy eater.
Not that as messy as the Cookie Monster. I don't make that many noises, but I'm pretty gross when I mean I
Can you
wouldn't
just
say I'm
imagine
gross.
at a wedding, like you get a nice like salmon? Nom, 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 nom.
Yes, I would do it, and I would probably just like tell her, I'd be like, "Look, you can be a stay-at-home wife, mom,
Just
but you can
keep
never
her in the
eat
cellar."
public." I was like, "You can eat at home all you want. I'll cook every meal, and you don't ever have to work a day in your
Yeah.
life, but you will not eat around anybody."
I'm not letting
And
you eat.
it's not like I'm forcing her; I'm giving her the option.
Yeah.
And I would, I would.
And
probably
she asks,
still
she's
date
like,
her.
why? Why wouldn't I eat around people?
Yeah, shoot. Then you're really into a
yeah. How
corner.
would you even address that?
Yeah.
How are you gonna break this to her?
So why can't I like go places like to eat?
Because
Are you
eat
familiar
like
with
fucking Cookie Monster?
Are
That's
you
all I
familiar-
have to say. I don't know.
Honey, are you familiar with Sesame Street?
Yeah.
Do you know who Cookie Monster is?
See, it would be cool, honey, if you ate only cookies and you could be a real life Cookie Monster. However, honey,
You're
you
eating
don't.
spaghetti
So
like
you
that.
can't eat in public.
Honey,
We can't even put a freaking costume on you like the Cookie Monster.
Halloween, she's the hit though.
Yes, she can eat on Halloween. That's part of our prenup
Yeah, that's fair.
in public.
That's
and I'm
hilarious.
kidding to all the ladies out there because
Yeah.
I am single.
So if you eat like Cookie Monster, he'll look
Wait a
past
minute.
it.
Yep.
maybe.
So, like, what would you do? Would you look or not keep dating her? Because I could see that as well.
I
It's
think
a tough question.
I think it would eventually wear on you.
Yeah.
And like I think I could get through it in the short term, and I might even convince myself that I could get through it in the long. Like if she's the 10 of all 10s, I'll
Yeah.
just be like, that's fine.
Right.
I'll be embarrassed in public around this person. I'll deal with it later. But or just be like, it'll just be us super introverted. We go live on a beach somewhere, but then eventually you run out of money and gotta go back. To society, and they're like, that's the Cookie Monster lady.
Yeah, and that would suck. Like around your family, like they wouldn't want her around.
Yeah.
Where would you go first? You said you'd like go live. Like, do you have like a place like you would hide away to?
No, I don't know. Maybe just like, but see, if I say the woods, then it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go hide all my sister wives in the woods and not let them see the real world. Which, by the way, I heard this story on a podcast. This was a while ago. It was a wife and like some of the kids, and the dad was like keeping them in the basement, and he had like kept them there like their whole lives, I guess, like to where like the kids were like getting like adult aged, like teenage and stuff age. And they let like the oldest boy escape. Like they found a way to make him escape. And I gotta find this story because I need to know. I'm like, how did they know at all what the world was like? Have you ever seen the show The Room?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah, The Room. Like same with
it's horrible.
Cloverfield.
Good movie. Depressing.
Yeah. It's intense.
Yeah.
Same with Cloverfield Lane. Like, how would you act if you didn't know what the world was like out there? Like, how do you live? It's a very interesting thing. But either way, so I guess he knew like what some things were. Like they let him watch like TV and stuff or something. But either way, he escaped and he walked to the closest place and there was a bar and he ordered 4 beers and then he called the cops and he drank all 4 beers. And like, can you just imagine being like getting somewhere and being like, that was rough. I need a beer. And then drinking one, getting like 3 or 4 and being like, well, I guess I should make a couple calls.
Instead
and like
of
having to
first
ask,
calling.
be like, hey, so I'm a little new to the area or the world. Do you guys have like some people that kind of like handle riffraff and stuff? Yeah, they're called the police. Can you call them for me?
But first, hold that thought. Give me one more beer.
Can you give me? I mean, how long? It's gonna be a minute. Give me another beer. And like that's just like the priorities of like, man, I could use a beer. That was intense. So like the process of escaping, and then like, what if the guy comes home and he's like, I escaped. I'm gonna move everyone, or I'm gonna kill everyone. And the kid's just crushing beers at the bar. Good for him, though.
Sorry, sisters, I got sidetracked at the bar. I planned to figure it out.
I was going to. I just wanted to rock some beers first. I was excited to be at the bar.
When you're in the mood for a beer, there's like not much else. Like,
I agree.
Like when you need one or whatever it is, like once you've made the decision, like you're gonna start drinking, like you just need one.
Yeah, I don't ever feel like I need a beer.
Once you made the decision,
but
you need.
Well, yeah, like it's one of my things now where it's like if I'm drinking, I usually drink to where I feel it. But like I don't think on like a regular
that's
day
a good question.
where it's a long day, I'm like, I need a beer. Yeah. If it's the weekend, I'm drinking to have fun, and I need to have fun.
Mm-hmm. I am totally cool with drinking 2 beers and being done for the night.
If it's like a real tasty one,
I don't
but
even
like
care.
a light beer, I don't
like Busch Light
enjoy
or
the
something.
taste that much.
See, I like Bud Lights enough, but like Busch Light, Natty, I don't. But I don't drink like during the week and stuff. I don't have like a beer or 2 or something during the week just because I'm like, I don't need that, like adding the extra, carbs and calories and all that horse shit. I'm like, I can do without it. But I still do completely see the appeal of like, oh, I'm not gonna get drunk, but I'm going to have 2 beers with this dinner type of thing. Even whether I'm at a place or in or not.
Yeah.
But it also gets to be a dangerous thing that I noticed recently. I love Irish coffee, and I get this Jameson cold brew stuff that I put in the coffee with Irish cream, and like
that stuff's good.
It's great, and it's tough to not get into that. Like if I'm already drinking that day, like it's like a wedding type day or something, I'm like, why wouldn't I start it? As soon as I have my morning coffee. Yep. Why wouldn't I'm gonna drink today regardless? Why not just start now? Exactly. I'm gonna enjoy the I love. It is such a good drink.
It almost tastes better adding it. Like I've had that stuff, and it's fantastic. It's tough. They make these freaking alcoholic drinks too
so
good.
goddamn good.
I know.
And like when we were in college, the seltzers and stuff, like I'm sure they were around, but like they weren't popular.
No, they weren't. I bet we talked about that before.
They would have been a problem if we were in college.
There was
absolutely. Seltzers,
And with like Irish coffee shit like that, like I always at the store or Costco or whatever, I always want to buy Bailey's or Irish cream or whatever.
Yeah.
I never really want it with my coffee. Like
really?
Very rarely do I actually do it and like feel okay with myself doing it. I feel like it's like a day, like those few occasions where like you're going to like a St. Patty's Day parade or you're doing something.
I probably have an Irish coffee every Friday after work Because like I can have a coffee at like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m.
Me too.
and still go to sleep at midnight. So I'm like, if I'm in most Fridays, I'm drinking regardless. And I also like if I'm gonna be up and doing something on a Friday, I might as well. I want the caffeine.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, so that's kind of my Friday ritual. Is like get home and make an Irish coffee.
Yeah, that's my day. That's my day to like. I'll go. I don't drink energy drinks, but Friday after work is a day where I will because you're tired and you're kind of like, oh, I want to just relax, but there's no time for that on Friday.
Exactly.
It's time to boogie.
It is time to boogie.
Yeah. So I buy like a Bang, like those can't be good for your heart.
I was thinking the other day,
Bang.
My heart, it couldn't take it no more.
Caffeine, like, drinks are getting crazy. Like, the energy drink, like culture and craze was, like, popular when we were younger. Like, Red Bulls and Monsters and stuff have been around. But they've been slowly gearing up.
Yeah,
and
those are, like, weak now.
Yeah, like, where, like, a Red Bull is, like, 120 milligrams or something, and, like, a Bang is 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And, like, Black Rifle coffee, they make, like, advertised as Black Rifle 300. And it's just so you know it has as much as a Bang, or a Reign is the same way.
Yeah, I've had the Reigns.
Phase or whatever. Like, they're all, like 300 is the new, like, to hit. And that's, like, almost 2.5 cups of coffee, depending on how you drink your coffee.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a shit ton of caffeine. Same, like, I've seen advertisement for, like, they used to do this Starbucks double shot, and it's like a 16-ounce thing with double as much caffeine. Now there's Starbucks triple shots.
Yeah.
And it's like, people are really going crazy with caffeine.
Is
and
nuts.
I love it, too. I mean, I indulge,
See,
I lay off the, like,
instead
the
of
Reigns and Bangs and stuff. I try to just stick with the coffee. If I need an energy drink, I'll do a Monster or Red Bull. It's crazy that that's, like, the definition of health now.
Yeah,
yeah. Just a Monster for me.
Yeah, I don't need the Bang today. I'll take just the Monster.
See, I'm just all coffee if it's something like that.
I drink a lot of coffee, but like, if I've gotten to the point now where I like don't drink energy drinks frequently. I think coffee's a pretty healthy way to get caffeine for the most part. I mean, no caffeine's good. It's just kind of like a little substance. It's addictive. But once in a while, I will get like the highest caffeinated beverage possible on certain occasions. Like Friday's a good occasion, so once a week probably, maybe at once every other week. But I do a Bang or a triple shot, and it's like...
It's a hoot.
I mean, I'm not a big, I've never been a big drug user. And that's like you feel...
But I'm like, I completely get cocaine.
Shaken.
Like, I completely get the
this is what it's like.
And man, could they move paper?
They could really move some paper.
Just give like a factory, like unlimited supply of Bangs.
Yeah.
They will probably die in 2 years, but they will be productive.
Yeah. Those will be the most productive 2 years they've ever seen.
They're crazy.
Yeah. I only do it when, like, me and, like, my brother and a bunch of our friends that, like, play video games decide to stay in on, like, a Friday or Saturday. And, like, we're just going to stay in and play video games. Because then you're just not moving. You're going to be sitting at your desk gaming the whole time. You might as well have 500 milligrams of caffeine running through you. It's like... And because, like, there's times I'll drink a Bang or a Monster at, like, 11 p.m. And we'll game until, like, 3 or 4 a.m. But it's also hilarious because we'll be also drinking alcohol and stuff the whole time. So then, like, we'll start off by winning a ton because we're, like, all fucking wired and, like, really excited. And by the end, the only people left still gaming are the 13-year-olds who are on their 18th Red Bull. And they're kicking the shit out of us and calling us homos and stuff. And we're like, would you take it easy, guys? They're dropping N-words out there. It's like, we're trying to have fun out here.
That is crazy they do that.
Yeah.
I have a funny story about, like, playing video games and caffeine in college. We were up drinking till, like, 6 or 7 a.m. And there's this one guy who, like, doesn't go out much. And I came back from where I was at from drinking. It was like 6:30 a.m. And I walk into this guy's room, see if anybody's up. And sure enough, I see him. And he is playing video games still. He doesn't go out. And I see like 10 Mountain Dews and a bag of Cheetos that he's just got his hands halfway in. And he's playing like Call of Duty. I'm like, dude, this is gross. It is a Saturday night, and you got Cheeto fingers, 10 Mountain Dews down.
See, that's...
You didn't go out. That's the grossest part.
Yeah.
In college on a Saturday.
Like, what are you doing? Get out there.
Yeah,
but
you might as well not go to college.
There was situations like that where like it was unfortunate, but kind of ended up being ideal. My birthday's in April, so I was one of the last people to turn 21. So like I'd drive the people to the bars and then just get fucked up after. Yeah. Because I knew they were going to come home at 1 a.m. and be hammered, and I'm like, I'm not going to be sober then. You know? And I'm not going to be asleep because they're going to come wake me. So then I just start like, sounds bad. That's when I got into drinking alone. I was like, you don't have to be with people to drink. And there was one time Kelly came home, and like it was super cold, so like I had the space heater going. I was in a hoodie and sweatpants with my hood up, and I had gotten like one of those like make your own 6-packs. So it made it even look like more beer. And I drank other beers, but like it was 6 different types of beers. You know, some weird cans, some weird bottles. He's like, it was the happiest I'd ever seen you. It's like just came in like me like all like bundled up and just like beers like all sitting out like just like on every flat surface in the room. And he's like, you down to keep drinking? And I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for you guys to get home. I'm like, well, this is why I'm up.
They probably loved that too.
Yeah, no,
like,
it was.
You were probably really excited to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I was like, I know. I was like, I kept the energy. Yeah. Exactly. It was an after party.
Yeah. That was me in college when I was broke, like when I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
And I just stayed home the whole time. That was absolutely me. Just waited for him to get home.
Yeah.
And then I'd keep him up all night by playing some music.
Yeah.
Entertaining. That's what Steve did. He entertained.
He entertained. I can see that.
We always did a lot of stuff at our house for the most part.
You would play music, like a recorder? Do you bring your recorder out and play him a little tune?
Hot cross buns?
No, I'd get, first I'd start on the recorder. I'd play the only song I know, Mary Had a Little Lamb. And then I'd get the old sweet bass. Wouldn't plug it into anything. I'd just say, listen closely.
I remember that visiting your college. You actually did pull out the bass a couple times at an after party.
Just because...
And no amp. You couldn't hear it at all.
Colin Green, every single time. Dude, go get the bass, dude.
Yeah,
go get the bass. Dude. I was like, dude, no one's going to be here. And he would not shut up until I got it every time. And I looked like such a douche.
That's funny.
But
you couldn't hear it
also, what that character, that person exists with an acoustic guitar usually. The idea that you're getting an electric bass.
I just brought it up to like practice because like I was playing
really
a lot
quietly.
back then. I was playing a lot at the time, and like
I didn't know you played the bass. I thought you played the guitar.
No, I don't know how to play the guitar.
Because I thought Greg played the bass and you would play guitar.
No, we would just play bass together.
But like he would come over sometimes, and I was.
Yeah, I knew like
he would play with us a lot of times, and like if we were playing bass, like one of us would play like the super simple thing, which was normally me, and then Greg would do all the fun jamming and stuff, and I would just play like the melody.
That's perfect.
The tune, carry the tune.
Background guitar, and the one person play.
Like I can play the chorus lines. You know, I can do the simple stuff.
That's perfect.
And I understand how to jam and stuff, but when me and Greg played, he's a lot better than I was. So
a little bit probably.
He carried all that kind of stuff. But I got a lot better pretty quickly. Dave pretty much taught me how to play.
Do you play ukulele or the uke or
I have a ukulele and I like learned it, but I don't play it a lot. I don't love the sound of a ukulele. Like not many songs you can play on the ukulele.
Not really.
But yes, I do kind of know.
Probably do like most of like Sabbath stuff, a little bit of like Zeppelin, on the ukulele.
I don't think so.
It's normally Rage Against the Machine type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was at a bookstore with my girlfriend. And they had, for whatever reason, a bunch of ukuleles, and they just all looked so cool.
It's kind of cool.
And they were all, like, the most expensive one was like $50.
Yeah,
and
they're
I was
not
like,
expensive.
I was really close to buying one, and now I think I'm going to go back and buy one.
Do it.
Because, like, I'm like, $50 worst case scenario, I never learned how to play.
They're
and it's just kind of
different
fun to have.
than guitars.
Well,
in terms
but
of like,
I played a little bit of
the
guitar
strings are different
and was never good at that.
Anything.
So maybe it'll like flip and I'll be really good at ukulele. You never know.
Probably. That's how that usually works.
Probably not. You never know though. But because I remember seeing one at your parents' place and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But usually if you're not good at the 4-string bass, you should buy a 5-string bass and then you'll be great.
Sounds worse. But
ukuleles are cool, and it's like one of those things where there's like a couple songs that are like really cool to play that everybody knows, like Rainbow, somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah, like that one by the big, large Hawaiian guy.
Yep.
R.I.P. by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
he died from obesity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obesity.
Yeah.
Obesity.
Oh, there's no other way to say it.
I had a TikTok, and right before we released it, he said, "Put in your 2 weeks."
That's good.
No, it was funny. I did text him that the other day because it jumped off like a little bit really quick, and I was like, "Put in your 2 weeks," and then like by the next morning, I was like, "Never mind." I'm like, that didn't work.
I did see one TikTok you had like a lot of views, but then it got taken down at one point. It was a Garth Brooks one.
Yeah, that was a bummer. We had one.
Getting a lot.
It jumped up to like 8,000 because I listened to Tom Segura and his wife Christina P's podcast, and so like, there's just a ton of funny jokes with that to make. Like I listen to it every week. I'm super big fan, and their community is great. So that's why every once in a while I'll make a reference on TikTok, and it'll generally do really well because it's a community type thing where then they'll see that, so then you get more comments. And they're talking, and that was like our first big one. It jumped up to like 8,000 views, and then it got taken down because I spelled the word murder, which is wild.
Oh, really? That gets taken down for that? I didn't know that.
And we had that other one that did 55,000.
Should have put muck duck.
I know.
I saw that one as well. The pillows one, or was that what
no,
it was?
it was the like drunk Uber, like the Captain Price type one.
Yeah, okay. See, I went viral on TikTok.
Yeah, no, I saw that just from like my feed.
Yeah,
and stuff because
a lot
like
of people
I don't
did.
know if I would have seen it regardless or if it like knows I'm a St. Louis person or something.
That's what I think it is.
But yeah, and same with like Sarah, my girl. She's like, "Is that David Kennison in this?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I saw the same thing already." It was a hilarious thing.
Yeah, it's like over most of the comments because it's about like a lot of people's, a lot of my
Parents
friends who have dead parents. And it's like dead dad, dead
I
dead
watched
mom,
it the first
dead
time. I was
dad.
like, "There's no way this is all true."
No,
And I
it's
was like,
true.
yeah, no,
It's
all
true. It's
yeah,
very sad. But all
wild.
the comments are like, because mine says Dave Ginger or Dave Redhead. I forget. I think
it's Ginger.
Yeah, it's
and in the comments, it's like poor Dave. And I was like, it's all it says. And like, there was one like 50-year-old
They don't
lady.
care about the other one.
They don't care. That's all. I'm
They're
like, man,
essentially
this.
saying, I'd rather have dead parents than be a ginger.
Yeah, that's like. So it's like they're trying to be nice, but really, this is.
I don't even
pointing
think
out
they're
of
trying
all
to be
that.
nice. I don't.
Yeah.
I think
No, definitely
That's
not trying to be
hilarious.
nice. It's horrible. But there was like one 50, 60-year-old lady who commented and just said, "Give me Dave." And I was, so, lady, if you're listening,
that's funny.
you can't have it.
Also, we got a new garden gnome added
Yeah.
into the mix.
Steven.
Just a St. Louis Blues one. This one's Steven. You know, this guy's
Nice
Where'd you get the
garden gnome.
other garden gnome?
Handyman Hardware.
Really? I
Bought
thought
it
there was a
recently?
gnome shortage.
Well, Handyman Hardware hasn't
Could have
found
it.
out about that yet.
It's very good.
Or
Yeah.
they've got to step up against the game. Now, you do notice, if you look, the quality.
This is much better
Yeah,
quality.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the detail.
Significantly.
Much simple. Oh, sorry, fella. Sorry, we've got
Got a lot going on
a
there.
whole bunch of stuff going on. But yeah, the detail's totally different. But anyways, go ahead.
That's great podcasting.
Do you want to do
Great
your?
edit.
Do you want to do?
Yeah,
We're on video.
You can just hear.
Sliding around and us talking about the detail on these gnomes.
That is just. Well, all right. A better idea for good podcasting. What if we each play a character and give the closer? I'm just kidding. It's also horrible.
That's also pretty bad.
What are you gonna do?
Did you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, might as well. Thank you for listening to episode whatever it is of the Stand and No podcast. Take it easy, nerds.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Should we do like a?
Yeah, we normally do like a slight little outro.
Yeah. Should we do like a? I don't know. What do you do on these things?
You kids and your podcast.
Back in my day.
Man, I tell you, these kids don't know how to